The showdown between NXT and TNA took place tonight in Orlando, Florida at the WWE Performance Center. This is an NXT show hosting TNA for the Showdown show. Originally it was supposed to be called Invasion. And I was thinking, you know what, if they make this a yearly tradition, they do this once a year, I'd be really happy with it because I enjoyed the show and TNA was featured very well tonight and it was 2-2. And they got to win the last match. So for people who thought TNA would get buried, it would be 4-0, a sweep, at best 3-1. They split on an NXT show, by the way, and TNA won the last match. They won the main event. Also, if they do make Showdown a tradition, they also better make NXT Homecoming a yearly tradition. When they go back to Full Sail, they bring back old wrestlers, they do tributes and all the nostalgia from the original NXT and the black and gold era, the Full Sail era. If they do that as well, I'd be really happy with this. And as much as I enjoyed Showdown tonight, I did prefer Homecoming from a few weeks ago more. I thought that was a better show just because I'm such a big fan of that old school NXT. Now, we started the show off with the Hardys, and they got a big pop as they always do. The Dudleys were in attendance along with Carlos Silva, president of TNA Wrestling. And we got our opening match, which was the NXT Tag Team Championship and the TNA World Tag Team Championships. In a winner-takes-all match, you have Dark State, Dion Lennox, and Osiris Griffin defending their NXT Tag Team titles against the Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, who were also defending their NXT Tag Team Championships while trying to win the other one as well. So I have to say, there was a lot of mistakes here. I don't know if it was Jeff's fault, but I want to blame Darkseid because I hate them so much and I think they suck and I hate that they're being pushed so much. It just strikes me with Darkseid as a bunch of NFL journeymen that they want to feature because they're big. And that's all I see with Darkseid. I don't find them intimidating. I don't think they're crazy. I don't think they have an edge. I just think these guys are just a bunch of jocks. Really, a bunch of jocks wearing skull masks. I'm supposed to be afraid of that. Like they're these Looney Tunes or these crazies. They're a bunch of NFL journeymen who didn't go anywhere. Now they have them wearing, skull masks to make them look intimidating. I'm no fan of Dark State. Hardy Boys are super over, and I think the botch was on Dark State because they suck. So eventually Matt hits a twist of fate, and then Jeff hits a swanton bomb for the win, and that was it. That was a quick win for the Hardys. They beat him decisively. The match wasn't long. Shouldn't be long because Dark State sucks, but Hardys just beat him. It wasn't really any outside interference. Nothing went wrong. It was a clean victory. They beat Dark State, and hopefully they vanquish Dark State because they suck. The Hardys retained their TNA Tag Team Championships, and simultaneously, they are your new NXT Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys. So, I don't know. I think they've won WWE Tag Team titles in 3 decades now. 2000s, 2010s, now the 2020s. That's really impressive for them. I've read somewhere that could have been 4 decades. They didn't win anything in the 90s. I know that. But still very impressive for them. Even though it's NXT, not WWE main roster, it still counts as a WWE championship. So we had Mackenzie Mitchell in the ring, and I'm thinking to myself, why did they get rid of her on the show? She was great. I don't know. I just never understood why they got rid of Mackenzie Mitchell. As I said, very attractive, talks really well. I'm still baffled by it. When they released her last year, I didn't understand why. I assumed she'd be one of the featured women on the main roster soon. I never understood why they got rid of her. And she's actually married to Vic Joseph, I believe. So she's introducing TNA, which was the Inspiration, formerly the Iconics, who were previously in NXT, actually the Iconic duo. Then they made them the Iconics on the main roster. And I have to say, they were awful on the main roster. They were a horrible team. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce were abysmal in the ring. They regressed in the ring, especially Billy Kay. Even Peyton Royce was kind of a star in NXT. Billy Kay really wasn't, but Peyton Royce was a star. When she got to the main roster, it looked like she just completely regressed in the ring. They were just awful, especially when they put the women's tag team titles on them at WrestleMania when they took it off Bayley and Sasha Banks. That was a huge mistake, and I don't think the women's tag team division ever recovered for several years after that. That really was awful, but I'm glad at least they're back in NXT because I did enjoy them in NXT. I really thought they'd become stars in NXT. That is now Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee. Jessie McKay is Billie Kay. Cassie Lee is Peyton Royce. And also joining them was Mara Saida. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm sorry, but that's the previous Jakara Jackson, who was let go earlier this year from NXT. And then their captain, the TNA Knockouts champion, Kalani Jordan. Then the NXT woman come out. I don't know who was announcing them. I don't know. Was it Kelly Kincaid? Was it Sarah Schreiber? I don't think it was Sarah. I would have recognized her voice, but I didn't see Kelly on this show. Someone's introducing them. It's Lola Vice, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and JC Jane, who had Fallon Henley with her. So we get our 4-on-4 Survivor Series elimination match. This is for the women's. You have Jordan Grace as special guest referee. Team NXT, JC Jane, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and Lola Vice against Team TNA, Kalani Jordan, Jessie McKay, Cassie Lee, and Mara Sade. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her name. So he had several dives to the outside. Kalani did a cool dive, and Sol Ruka did like a headstand or like a bunch of cartwheels and like a flip on the outside, which looked great. Sol Ruka's incredibly athletic, as is Kalani. Both of them, when they work together, it's like magic because they're both so athletic. So you had the fans doing the wave, which I thought sucked. They just weren't into the match when they did that. And I think the problem was the TNA women were a lot slower than the NXT women. And that's a big issue here because you can see with the TNA women, a lot of them are former NXT women who didn't make it. And these NXT women, these four, I don't know about Lola Vice, how far she'll go because she's not that good in the ring in my opinion. But in JC, I'm not sure. But with Sol, with Kalani, and with Jada, I think they were a lot faster. And they are athletes. They were a lot faster than the TNA women, and that showed. So first, you had Sade eliminate Jada Parker with a roll-up, so Jada goes out first, and then you had Sol Ruka eliminate, let's call her Jakara, with the Soul Snatcher. Lola Vice eliminates Cassie Lee with the back fist, and then she submits Jessie McKay right after, so Lola Vice taking out both the Inspiration quickly. She eliminated them both within a few seconds of each other, to be honest. And then you have Kalani Jordan getting mad at Jordan Grace because she was late counting when she had JC Jane pinned. Eventually, Kalani Jordan eliminates Lola Vice, and then she's with Sol Ruka and JC Jane. So Kalani hit a really good Spanish fly onto Sol Ruka from the top. As I said, those two are like wrestling soulmates. They work really well with each other. But Sol hit the Soul Snatcher on Kalani. But as she hits the Soul Snatcher, JC Jane actually tags in from Sol. So she hits the tag on Sol as Sol's like in the air on the ropes. And then she hits the Soul Snatcher onto Kalani. But JC's legal. JC then pins Kalani Jordan, and Team NXT gets the win. So you had Sol Ruka a little upset with JC Jane. She actually embraces Kalani Jordan afterwards, and JC Jane celebrates. Sol Ruka's a little upset, but Team NXT gets the win. We see Mustafa Ali and Ethan Page heading to the ring. And then we have in Ava's office, she's talking to Matt Cardona, former Zack Ryder. He wants a match with Josh Briggs, and then he's standing in the doorway, so when Briggs walks in, he doesn't see Cardona. He demands a match as well, and Ava gives it to them, and we have it next week, Cardona against Briggs. Then we go to the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page is fighting against Mustafa Ali, and Ali came out originally to his old theme song from, I think it was the WWE main roster, then it transitions to his current TNA theme. And he wrestled this match like, I'm trying to get my fucking job back. That's what Mustafa Ali did here. He was possessed here. He wanted to show them, hey, this is what you fucking missed. You should have never fired me. I want my fucking job back. That's what I got from him. And I appreciate that. And I appreciated the fire because he was just going crazy here. He took some really bad bumps. he took a bad back bump into the barricade, which I got concerned about. And I thought, like, he was so pissed off. He's wrestling with the biggest fucking chip on his shoulder. I just appreciated it because how upset he was. And, like, he wanted them to see, even if they don't hire him, yeah, look how good I am. This is what you missed out on. So I really appreciated his performance. Match was definitely the match of the night. It was really, really good. Fans were into it. They were into Mustafa. Ethan Page had to win because it's an NXT championship. You're not going to have a TNA guy hold the belt. So Ethan definitely needed the win here, and he got the win eventually. The craziest spot was with Booker's headset being wrapped around Ali's foot, and Ali's on the rope, and the cord drags him down. That was definitely a good spot. Eventually, Page hits a twisted one and gets the win. So hell of a matchup here. Backstage, Sarah Schreiber's interviewing Dr. Wagner. I just groaned. I don't give a fuck about this. I don't care about AAA. I don't care about this guy. He can barely speak any English. It's annoying because, like, when you don't speak any English and, like, I don't really watch the show, I'm thinking, why am I just completely tune out here? And I have no interest in AAA anymore. I'm over that stuff with NXT and AAA. I liked the first show. Didn't really care for anything else. So Tavion Heights, Lexis King actually walks in, insults him, and Tavion Heights gets upset with him. This is some of the stuff from NXT I really don't like. The stupid segment shit, like just awful acting. Anyway, so backstage you have the NXT women talking in the locker room. Zarya is upset at Soul for being part of Team NXT, and like she didn't vouch for her to be part of the team. Blake Monroe walks in, and she's trying to divide both Zarya and Sol Ruca, but Zarya stands up to her. So I guess that's Blake's new program. She points at Sol's title, so I guess she's shooting with Sol Ruca, and the feud with Jordan Grace is over now. She's lost the feud. Jordan Grace won the feud. The commentators preview next week's NXT show. We only have 2 weeks, by the way, and I have to go on a bit of a rant about this. We only have 2 weeks to build up Halloween Havoc, which I don't like. It seems like Halloween Havoc's on the back burner. They did a really good job, I thought, of building up No Mercy. Like, they were taking it seriously from the beginning. Here, Halloween Havoc, it's like back to when they built up the Great American Bash in the summer. It's like have 2 weeks to build up the show, and it's on such short notice. And I think if, like, the show doesn't do too good in attendance, people are going to criticize a lot about it, which is fair. I mean, they're not even promoting the show. They're not doing anything. Like, if you watch the show, you'd have no idea and Halloween Havoc is in 2 weeks. And I wish they would have done a better job because Halloween Havoc's usually one of the better shows of the year. And I really like the Halloween theme, the gimmick of Halloween Havoc every year. And they've done a really bad job with it this year. And it's what happens when you want to schedule so many big events. So it is what it is. Anyway, we go to our main event, a 4-on-4 men's Survivor Series tag team elimination match with Joe Hendry as special guest referee. Team NXT, your NXT champion Ricky Saints, the TNA world champion Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne against Team TNA, Mike Santana, Frankie Kazarian, Moose, and Leon Slater. So, a very good matchup here. Miles goes out quickly. He was the first elimination. It was quick. Really surprising how fast it was. And the match goes on for a while without him. Leon Slater rolls up Javon Evans and gets him out. But before that, Javon is just going crazy. He's hitting dive after dive. I'm thinking, this guy, he's going to, like, bounce off the announce table and, like, split his head open. I'm almost worried how fast he's going. It's not normal. He looks like just a crazy freak athlete that you just don't see much in wrestling. That's how crazy Javon Evans is. The man's just an athletic freak. And I'm almost worried he's just going to overshoot someone, he's going to land in the crowd and get badly hurt or hurt his opponent. Because, like, it's incredible how athletic the guy is. Yeah, I've never seen a wrestler get that high in the air for dives before. But he gets limited by Leon Slater. This is done to promote the match at Bound for Glory, which I think Javon probably will win now. Anyway, Trick Williams walks out on Ricky Saints, so he kind of eliminates himself by countout, so it becomes a 1-on-4 handicap match, the NXT champion against all of Team TNA. So Ricky eliminates Frankie Kazarian, that's the former Kaz from TNA. Then he eliminates Leon Slater, then it's him against Santana and Moose. There was a hope shot where it looked like he might eliminate Santana, but Santana kicks out. Eventually they finish him off, and Santana pins Ricky Saints, and TNA gets the win. As I said earlier in the video, TNA is victorious to end the show. After that, we go backstage, and in Ava's office is Santino Marella. She congratulates him for the win. He also congratulates her for the woman winning, and she tells him she needs a new number one contender for the women's title at Halloween Havoc, and she's going to invite a whole bunch of TNA women or TNA knockouts, and we'll get a Women's Battle Royal winner gets an NXT Women's Championship match at Halloween Havoc, which I think JC Jane will probably retain because it has no build-up. So, is what it is. That was NXT Showdown. I thought overall a very good show. I thought TNA was represented really well here. I thought all the matches most of them were good. I mean, there was parts of the women's match that dragged, but I thought I enjoyed it. It was a lot of wrestling. If you're the one who wants to see a lot more wrestling on NXT, this was like 80% wrestling, to be honest. A lot of wrestling here, and I thought the show was good. I enjoyed it, and I wouldn't mind if they do an NXT Showdown along with an NXT Homecoming. They do that like once a year as a big special. I wouldn't mind it. And I'm glad we got to see Survivor Series elimination matches this year.